Welcome. In front of me is a ZTE Nubia RedMagic 5S, and today I'll show you how you can apply a tempered glass to this phone. Now I will be using, as you can see, a tempered glass for a different phone, but just because the screen size is virtually the same, as you will see in a second, it doesn't really matter. So as you can see, it is kind of a little bit smaller on the top side, but if I light up the screen, you can hopefully see that the screen starts below the camera. So there we go. That's what I'm going to be using. Obviously, if you have a screen protector specifically for this phone, I believe it will go all the way to the bottom, even covering the bezels, and might just have a little cutout for the camera. So there we go. Whichever the glass you might have, obviously with the glass you'll probably also get these things, which is a dry and wet pipe. Now what I recommend doing is just yeeting that out and not using it. For the most part, half of the time the wet pipe is actually dry, so let's see if that is the case right here. Yep, this one is dry as hell. As you can see, there's literally no moisture on it. I did have like one. Oh, I think this one. Nope. Nope, I got nothing. I did have one somewhere. I did a couple of these applications, so yeah, I have a bunch of them laying around here, as you can probably see. But truth be told, for the most part, they are all dry, even though, as you can see, I did unpack wet ones, almost all of them. So yeah, if you have a dry wipe instead of a wet one, like you should, that's completely fine. Basically, they dried up. And that's the quality we're getting here. At least that's the quality I'm getting. But I still prefer to use a microfiber cloth, just because it's way bigger than these tiny little cloths, as you can see. These are just pathetic. So obviously a rag like this will be way more convenient to use, and it does the job just as well, if not better. So before I actually clean the display, I'll kind of go with how I apply my tempered glass. So the way I do it is I just find the edge, one of them, while pinching the display along with the phone edge, right? I'll just kind of try to align it evenly. And then doing the same thing at the bottom of the phone, I'll start pushing it down right here so it starts to apply, like it glues a little bit to the screen, and then I'll just drop it, and it should drop perfectly aligned from either side, and it will just start gluing itself all the way through. So that's kind of how I go about it. Now obviously, if you have some kind of tempered glass with a cutout for your camera, you want to apply it around that cutout. So if, as an example, tempered glass would have a little punch hole for this camera, I would then apply it exactly to that camera, but with the same logic. So once it's perfectly aligned with the camera and the edges right here, I'll just drop it from there. So that's kind of how I go about it. Anyway, so let's clean our display off. Looks like I do have a little bit of a scratches on the screen. Yep, so it's a little bit scratched up, as you can see right here. Now this shouldn't really matter. What will matter is some kind of like dust particles that will settle on the screen, and maybe some grime, depending on how thick it is. So once it's cleaned off, we can now prepare to apply it. Now I do recommend keeping the microfiber cloth ready, just because once at least the way I do it, once I peel this off, I give the screen a couple more passes just to make sure that there is no dust that could have settled on the screen when I apply it. So anyway, let's peel that off. This does reveal the sticky side right here, so be careful with it. And let's apply it. Now, as you can see, if it starts applying a little bit crooked, you can lift it up because it is right now kind of glued. So you can lift it up and make sure then that it's correctly. As you can see, it is kind of glued right here, and if I let it go, it will just drop all the way. There we go. So you can see it is now fully on the screen. So anyway, that is how you could apply your tempered glass, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.